are with Headphone Baby, and we are joined tonight. Super excited to be joined by Dany Horovitz.
Me. Thank you for having me. I
Yeah,
like
thank
headphones.
you
I like
so much.
babies. I'm sure I'll like Headphone Baby.
No, like super excited. I know you're very busy. Because I hear you're a pretty big deal in Canada. So
Yeah, that is what I keep telling people who don't live in Canada. So as far as everyone in the UK is concerned, I'm a very big deal.
yeah, no, this guy, big deal.
So, right, let me hit you straight off. So, I believe your granddad owned a record store. Okay, a little bit of research I've done. Now, would you say this is what inspired you to be a musician, or is this just, a happy coincidence?
I mean, it certainly added to things because in the house growing up, I had all these amazing records, and they're all old records. But also, I'd say that my dad was a huge influence. He played the guitar, and he played for me and my brothers, and it's also very oldies music. And when we would go for drives in the car, he'd play the oldies station, and we would drive a lot because my parents were crafters, so we'd be driving very far distances. In Canada, everything is really far. So if you're someone who like sells it, driving in the car, listening to oldies, at home listening to the records, absolutely huge influence.
Well,
but definitely oldies.
My question, because I've read that you're like greatly inspired by Leonard Cohen.
Oh yeah.
So that's like no surprise to anyone who knows you. Is there anyone who inspires you that you think people might be a bit shocked by?
Well, Leonard Cohen, I guess they're not shocked by. Anyone would be shocked by any of my influences. It's everyone that you would expect, but people don't know me. So for all I know, if I said, Bob Dylan inspired me, they'd be like, what? No, how? Impossible.
I have got, so in every show, like I do a little joke round. Okay. So it's 5 quick fire jokes. I can't promise that they're good, but
they're definitely not good.
I will fire just 5 jokes at you, and let's see if you laugh or not. Okay.
All right.
Number 1. So my wife asked me to pick 6 cans of Sprite up. I got home and realized I got 7 up instead. Okay.
That's not bad.
Okay, I was going to tell a time travel joke, but I know that you don't like it.
I'm not sure I get that one.
Okay, stop looking for the perfect.
But I will in the future.
Oh, maybe. Oh. Okay. Stop looking for the perfect match. Use a lighter. And 2 goldfish are in a tank. Yeah. One says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?" And last one, number 5. This one you usually get to laugh. Okay. Don't always tell dad jokes, but when I do, he usually laughs. That one's usually the safe one. Okay.
I got a joke for you.
Yeah, go for it.
I got 2. First one, similar to the goldfish one. 2 sausages are frying in a frying pan. One sausage turns to the other and says, "Boy, is it hot in here." And the other one says, "Oh my God, a talking sausage." And then the second one, it's a little dirty, so just bear with me on this one.
Go for it.
How many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just 2, but nobody knows how they got in there.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Okay. I don't know if Jay mentioned it, but we build a little scrapbook, and it's everyone we get on, if they tell a good joke, it goes in the scrapbook. Yeah. That is going front page.
Yeah,
like that.
Great.
Going straight in the book.
I'll tell you one story. This is the closest I got to an embarrassing one. I was not part of school, but I went out for a run one morning when I was staying at a cottage. Just when I was someone else who was staying at the cottage, and we went out for a run and we lost the trail. And in trying to find the trail, we went off onto someone's private property, and there were these attack dogs that started chasing us. And I could tell that they were attack dogs when they started attacking us. But thank goodness they were trained enough to actually stop the border of their property. So we were like absolutely lost. for like 20 minutes. Finally, we found a road and we hitchhiked back to the
Wow.
cottage.
So that was close then. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so a slightly more serious question then. So obviously, from what I gather, you're picking up quite a bit of traction in Canada, congratulations. But do you feel like breaking into the UK music scene, like, is that an ultimate goal? Is that something that you want to achieve? Or, where do you sit with that?
Yes. Oh, I can't believe that's even a question. Absolutely. The answer is yes. I would love to get streams in the UK. I'd love to have people know who I am in the UK. I'd love to have them know me anywhere. I make music because I love it and I want to share it and I want people to listen to it. And I think when they do, they'll like it. And so the answer is yes. And I'm hoping with your help, other people will listen. I'm told you guys are the biggest. I'm told by yourselves that you're the biggest podcast show in all of the UK. So I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't like to brag, but
yeah. So yeah, you just had an EP come out recently, right?
I have, yeah.
And what was the inspiration for the name of that?
Oh, The Candle is Worth the Game. So it's not that humorous a story, but it is really interesting. And I know Jay,
we were very interested in that.
We had some conversations offline. We were talking about how music and mental health and thinking through in these dark times. So when I was in the studio last year, I recorded a bunch of songs, and these 4 songs stood out to me. They're a little different than most of my folk or rock kind of stuff. They're a little more adult contemporary, but they had a distinct arc from dark to light. And each song goes very, very grim subject matter, then a little bit of a tragic comedy, then kind of a song about feeling blue, but with a bit of optimism. And then the last song is really just a story about how wonderful it is to be vulnerable and intimate with another person. So it's dark to light theme. And I came up with the title, The Candle is Worth the Game, to mirror that idea of dark to light and a kind of play on an old expression, the game is worth the candle. I don't know if you're familiar with that expression. It's from France, but it comes from a time when you had to bring your candle to play a game of cards because they didn't have electricity. And so it would only be worth playing the game if the winnings covered the cost of your candle. And so it became this expression, is the game worth the candle? The game is worth the candle, that kind of thing. And because my EP was more literally about, or more metaphorically about dark to light, I just decided to flip it on its head to say the candle is worth the game.
Yeah.
But I've recorded a lot of music and I've got a big pipeline. So I'm going to have 7 other releases this year, 7 other songs.
Wow.
They're kind of like, and they're going to build an album one after the other. So by the time the 7th comes out, the album will be complete. And that album is called Finero Rhyme.
Right, we're moving on then. So quick fire round. One that you cannot stand.
Ooh, I really can't stand the sound of styrofoam rubbing against itself.
Perfect. Your favorite film quote?
I have so many, but the one that pops to mind is in Pulp Fiction when Quentin Tarantino says to Harvey Keitel, "How do you want your coffee?" And he says, "Lots of cream, lots of sugar."
Your agent name?
I would just go with my own name.
Cool.
Easier to remember.
Yeah.
Your favorite sandwich filling?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't want to be boring, but lately I've been eating a lot of peanut butter.
Would you rather have really noisy neighbors or really nosy neighbors?
Probably really nosy neighbors because I like my sleep and I can always lie to them.
Ah, good answer. Liked it.
Okay. Perfect. So, moving back onto the situations, have you got any funny stories from a car journey? So your funniest car journey you can remember?
Funniest car journey story. Man, I probably do. I wish I had more road trip funny stories.
No, let's have a funny story.
One time I didn't use GPS and it took longer than it should have. Do you guys remember a time before we did GPS and you had to actually look at maps to look at things? How do we build civilization at all? Yesterday I was with my friends. We were taking the streetcar here in Toronto, and there's a little sign, and if you text a number, it'll tell you when the streetcar comes next. And it's like, without this function, we'd have to literally just wait there until the next streetcar came.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they build the pyramids? How did anything get done? But I will tell you a funny story that happened to me recently. That has to do with music promotion. I told this story. Yeah. So you guys are aware of a social media platform called TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
So I opened a TikTok account, not really caring at all about social media. I don't I'm only on social media to promote my music. And the best way to do that is when people follow you, send messages and start messaging people and, talking about things. And so I was doing this for a while, and I wasn't really posting many videos on TikTok, but I was messaging people. And, if you're familiar with TikTok, anytime you post a video, unlike Instagram or Facebook, people will just like automatically follow you, so you can start talking to them. So TikTok eventually banned me from sending and receiving messages because I wasn't posting enough and I was sending just messages. So I deleted my account and I made a new one, Dany Horovitz 1, and I started doing the same thing. And some guy messages me and he's like, "You're not the real Dany Horovitz, you're an imposter." And I thought it was great because, well, first of all, he has to know who I am in order to accuse me of an imposter. And second of all, I thought that was pretty funny. I have good friends of mine. They have a wall in their house dedicated to mediocre accomplishments. Like if you do something like, your parent teacher association of the month, or
you
whatever. So I'm like, I took a screenshot. I'm like, does this count as a mediocre achievement? Can I? They're like, actually, that might be too big an achievement for this wall.
To be honest with you, we're about at the end. So what we usually say now is there anything you would like to say on our platform?
Well, thank you for having me on. I definitely want to get big in the UK, and I really want to pander to the UK crowd. So God save the king.
No, thank you so much.
Bangers and mash and all that good stuff. What do I want them to know besides the fact that I put gravy on my mashed potatoes? I've got lots of music up and more on the way.
Yeah.
Please follow me. I would stand by any of my songs. You can just search me, pick a shuffle, pick one at random. I stand by any of them. Hopefully you like them. Follow me on Instagram is the social media platform I'm most active on. I'm at Dany Horovitz.
I want to say thank you so much to Dany for joining us on the show tonight. Yeah. We feel very privileged that he took time out of his very busy schedule.
And go and check it.
Guys, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Joey. You guys are